In 2001, the Barber Dodge Pro Series continues to launch the careers of tomorrow's racing superstars, just as it's done for today's Champ Car veterans Kenny Breck and Brian Herta and Juan Montoya, who's made the move to Formula One. Now in its 16th year and newly recognized as the official entry-level professional race series of kart, the Barber Dodge Pro Series races your way next. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, presents the Barber Dodge Pro Series. Today, it's round number 8 from Chicago Motor Speedway, just outside Chicago in Cicero, Illinois. In fact, 7 miles from the Loop in downtown. Hello again, everybody. I'm Marty Reed alongside Jeremy Dale. And this 20-car field has qualified within a second of each other, and there's history being made with Nicholas Ronday having his second pole of the season. But Sarah Sensky, the highest qualified woman ever in a kart-sanctioned event.
Yes, first time ever for a woman in a kart-sanctioned event. You can see the margin there, less than a tenth of a second. As a matter of fact, look at those first 15 cars, just a little over a half second amongst those first 15 cars, less than a second for the entire field here on this oval that is just over 1 mile, 1.029 miles around this oval.
5 onboard cameras. Sarah Sensky in the WorldCom finished a career best 6th at Lime Rock, and what an incredible exhibition she put on during qualifying. Drove the wheels off.
Second onboard camera today is Ryan Hunter-Ray. He starts inside row 2. Presently second in points. He carries the Medlock Ames Vineyard and Winery onboard camera.
Won our last time out. Also, we've got Peter Boss with the KMS software onboard camera, starting in 10th outside of row 5. He has 6 top 10 finishes here in 2001. He's 8th in the point standings.
And our 4th onboard camera today carried by Jay Ritchie. He starts outside row number 9. He carries the JD Byrider onboard camera. Missed our last race in Toronto, so good to have Jay back with us in Chicago.
Another guy it's good to see back is Tommy Fogarty in that number 66 car. His second race back this season. He finished 10th last time out in Toronto. He has been on the shelf after suffering a non-racing automobile accident right before the start of the season. Jeremy talked with him.
Well, I'm thrilled to be standing here and talking to Tommy Fogarty, who missed the early part of the season, is now back for his second race in Barber Dodge. And Tommy, tell us how you're feeling after that early season non-racing related injury.
I'm thrilled to be back. The first half of the season I was very much looking forward to ever since the end of last year. My year started well last year, didn't end as well. I had a great winter testing program, and I was very optimistic about the start of the season. As you know, I was injured, broke my neck about 14 days before the first race at Sebring, and it's been a bit frustrating ever since.
Well, obviously, when you had the injury and you knew you were going to miss the first race, and you knew you were going to miss a number of races, I know your idea was to get back in the car right away. What motivated you to get through that rehab and get yourself back in shape?
A lot of it was coming to the races. I came with some of the other drivers to help out and just maintain a presence here in the scene. And I'll tell you, it was painful but very constructive watching everybody else strap in and go on the race weekends.
Do you feel that the time out of the car was beneficial for you in terms of development as a driver?
It was beneficial for development as a driver, and as far as development as a person, honestly. It taught me a lot of patience. It taught me to be more observant. I learned a lot watching the other drivers. I learned which mistakes I was probably making and really shouldn't make anymore, because the costly nature of the mistakes is a lot more obvious when you're out of the car.
How do you jump into the season literally at the halfway point? You started at Toronto, which was race number 7. How do you jump into the season at the midpoint and make that season constructive?
Well, to start with, I did want to get back in the car, you're absolutely right, but my doctor in California, Bobby Tay, and Terry Trammell, the kart medical director here, I told them I didn't want to be back in the car unless I really was physically ready. And there was a lot of emphasis was placed on looking at my images, my CT scans, MRIs, and X-rays. When I really felt I could get back in the car and drive and be safe, the motivation was there. And if that's answering your question, that was the most important part to me.
Tommy, it's great to have you back.
Thanks, Jeremy. Great to be back here with you guys.
And it is great to see him back behind the wheel of the car. And yes, you heard it right. He broke his neck in that non-racing crash earlier this year. Let's take a look now at the point standings coming into round 8. It is tight. 22 points available out there. And you can see that Nicholas Rondet leads Ryan Hunter-Reay by only 4, and Mark Brewer's only 21 markers back in 6th. And our Barber Dodge Pro Series Rookie of the Year standings, another tight battle.
Well, what a battle this is, too. Look at that. You got 4 guys within 5 points, and Christian Shimshak only 21 back in 5th. There is the rundown on the oval. Just a little over 1 mile, as I said. Second consecutive new venue for Barber Dodge. Toronto, remember, was our last event. 4th of 8 races with CART this year. Remember, the pole sitter has won 4 out of 7 rounds in the 2001 championship season.
And Nicholas Rondet is our pole sitter here as the lights are out on the Dodge Viper pace car. They come around the final corner, and next time down this long straightaway, as we're on board with Sarah Sensky outside of row number 1, we are going to go green flag racing here at Chicago Motor Speedway. There's Ryan Hunter-Reay inside row number 2. Speed comes up, green flag out. We're flying.
And Rondet gets a nice clean start. Sensky tucks in behind him. Look at Ryan Hunter-Reay. Oh, he gets clipped by Koster there. Gets pinched between Koster and Rafael Sparafico. That right front wing on Hunter-Reay's car is now useless.
So a tough break right in the first corner for Ryan Hunter-Reay, second in the points. And without the aerodynamics of that wing, I can't imagine he's going to be able to hold on to that position.
No, that car is going to go backwards, no question about it. The car is very, very dependent on aerodynamic downforce generated by the wings here on this oval.
And this is like a paperclip oval. Here's Ryan Hunter-Reay. He is actually trying to go on the outside here.
Well, he's trying to do what he can, but now he's kind of up in the gray, and that's not the fastest part of this racetrack. There is Peter Boss on the inside.
And as we look out the back of Peter Boss's car, he's running in 7th spot.
So a very, very tough break for Ryan Hunter-Reay. Let's go back on board. The car not accelerating particularly well off the start. Kind of makes you wonder if Hunter-Reay had some kind of problem. There on the left is Rafael Sparafico. There's Koster, and just the pinch there between the two. It was just barely a touch. And look at the move by David Waringa around the outside of Koster. What a great move, and around the outside of Rafael Sparafico. Wow.
And Waringa right there in 5th spot. And give him a tip of the hat. This is his hometown track. He lives here in Chicago, has been running the series, and by far this would be his best performance of the year.
And there was Koster trying to get back around Waringa. That's not going to work, and that gives Peter Boss a real opportunity to get a run on Koster down the front straightaway.
And can he make the pass? There is Sepp Koster, and move Peter Boss into 5th spot.
Great move by Peter Boss. Remember, Koster won our one and only oval race from the 2000 season at Nazareth. There is our top 5. Nicholas Rondet continues to lead from the pole. Sensky is slotted into 2nd. Morley 3rd. Dave Waringa with a very quick charge up into 4th. And Peter Boss rounds out the top 5. We'll be back.
It's very difficult course because the surface is not very abrasive. There's not like a lot of grip, and it seems like the wind is playing a big part. So Chicago definitely hasn't stolen its name of Windy City.
Belgium's Sepp Koster talking about Chicago Motor Speedway here in round 8 of the Barber Dodge Pro Series. Marty Reed along with Jeremy Dale. And Sepp, remember, got his first victory last year on our only oval in 2000. And this guy, Ryan Hunter-Reay, had then a career high 2nd place back at Nazareth, but he is out of this race. Look at that front wing, and this is going to hurt him. This is 2 of the last 3 races where it's been feast or famine, and unfortunately it's been famine.
Well, he's had some tough finishes. He did win the last round in very spectacular fashion at Toronto, but this is not going to help his points championship. On board with Sarah Sensky continues to hover under the back wing of Rondet. Look at that top 5 there, covered by a blanket. Sensky, Morley follows Sensky, David Waringa with a great performance up in 4th, Sepp Koster in 5th.
And Koster got past Peter Boss during the commercial break to take over that 5th position. And as we look at Sarah Sensky and John Morley, Sarah, I don't think anybody expected this. I mean, her career best was a 6th earlier this year at Lime Rock, which is a road course.
Well, she's got a bit more experience on ovals, as does Nicholas Rondet. But I'll tell you, if you had watched her in qualifying, as I did, she was just spectacular. I was down in turn 3. She just stoved it in first lap out of the pits, and really was very, very impressive. Now, Morley and Waringa, up until Thursday of this race weekend, had not seen an oval, so these guys are also doing an exceptional job.
And John Morley has 2 career bests for 4th earlier this year. He's done it twice. As we go back on board with Sarah Sensky, the 22-year-old from Kennewick, Washington. And this is her 2nd year in the Barber Dodge Pro Series.
Carries the WorldCom onboard camera, supported by Lynx Racing in Barber Dodge. And of course, Lynx, very famous for their involvement in the kart Formula Atlantic Championship, and that is one of the series that Sarah aspires to run in. Lynx has had great history there, developing great young drivers, and so that's what she would love to do. And today's race will go a long way towards achieving that goal for Sarah Sensky. Very solidly maintaining this gap with Rondet, and pretty stable at the front here. These cars averaging right around 120 miles an hour around this oval. It doesn't look quite that fast because the racetrack is so wide, but believe me, these cars are moving.
And right behind Sarah, of course, is John Morley in 3rd. And then in 4th spot, David Waringa. There you can see the top 5 all within the same camera shot, but nobody able to really put pressure on anyone else. And for Waringa, his career best coming into this race was 9th earlier this year, just 2 rounds ago, back at Cleveland.
Well, he's had a few races where he's been up inside the top 7 and 8 and just hasn't quite gotten to the finish. There is Jay Ritchie. He's running his 16th. Great battle here with Tommy Fogarty up the inside, coming off turn 4. So Tommy Fogarty moves up into 16th position.
And if you notice, because of the paperclip shape, everybody having to do some shifting going in and coming out of the 2 corners.
Absolutely. Most of the drivers down into 4th gear in the corners. Some trying to roll 5th gear through the corners, but mostly down in 4th gear up to 5th. And depending on which way the wind is blowing, you might have to go to 6th by the end of the straightaway, so there could be as many as 2 upshifts and downshifts.
On board with Peter Boss running in 7th. That's Matt Plum on the outside. Matt, of course, in the championship chase, but really after the first 2 rounds this year, he thought about giving up because he had 2 disastrous races.
He did, but he stuck with it, had a good weekend at Lime Rock, the doubleheader there, and then came out and won the round at Detroit. And that got his championship back on course. Look at this, Waringa now putting the pressure on Morley. These guys, good friends off the racetrack, so let's see how we can develop the friendship on the racetrack here.
Well, Morley 3rd in the rookie points. He's only 4 points behind Rafael Sperafico, and Waringa 6th in the rookie championship battle.
Peter Boss now with Matt Plum, Rafael Sperafico. Following along, there is Roger Yasukawa.
And we go back on board with Peter Boss. And then we'll also head to a commercial break here in round 8 at Chicago Motor Speedway at the Barber Dodge Pro Series. Some new names at the top. Hey, you're on the internet and you want to find out the latest in motorsports? All you got to do is dial up rpm.espn.com and you'll get the latest information as we're looking at downtown Chicago. Right now, we're under yellow here at round 8 of the Barber Dodge Pro Series at Chicago Motor Speedway. Alexander Sperafico had contact with the wall. And right in that 2nd spot is Sarah Sensky, the 22-year-old from Washington. She has 3 karting championships to her credit, and right now is on track for her career best finish.
And it would be a great result for her here in Toronto. There's a replay of the spin by Alex Sperafico. You can see he just got up and nudged the wall, and that's the benefit of these nice wide racetracks, is that if you do lose control of the car, you've got plenty of time to get it hauled down. So as we come back to green, it's Rondet who rolls through turn 4, gets a nice jump, and look at this. This is Matt Plum taking a run at Peter Boss for 7th place.
And it looks like he's going to make the pass stick as he makes it look easy. So Matt moves into 7th.
And that is just getting that jump on the restart. And you can see Koster trying to make a move also on David Waringa, tucked up under the gearbox. That's the battle for 4th. There they are right there into turn 3.
And you saw the top 5. If you go back to the top 6 with Davey Cook, we've got 3 rookies, I should say, running in the top 6.
But the guy on the move right now looks to be Matt Plum. He made that pass on the restart on Peter Boss, and now rolling up behind Davey Cook for 6th position.
We go on board the WorldCom onboard camera with Sarah Sensky. Remember, these are all identically prepared Dodge Renards, and with Michelin tires, it is a driver series. Now, other than that career best 6 we told you about earlier, Sarah's only other top 10 is a 9th. So this second is really amazing, and she's doing very well.
Here is that battle for 6. Remember, I said Matt Plum looked to be on the move. It looks like he's got his car where he wants it right now. The car seems to be getting better as he goes on these longer runs. Cook is just 1 point out of the rookie points lead. That is Rafael Sparafico's leading the rookie points. Plum right now just 5 points out of the overall championship lead. So these two at 6th and 7th in the field, both wanting to make moves to get closer to the front.
And 2 separate championships that have a lot at stake. Remember, the Rookie of the Year award carries a $185,000 prize attached to it as we go back on board with Peter Boss in 8th place. That's Roger Yasukawa all over him.
So Peter Boss has made a move forward, but now seems to be slipping back just a little bit. You can see he goes on the defensive there a little bit, coming down into turn 3. He'll keep that car down to the inside, make Roger Yasukawa go the long way around. And that is the long way around. So Boss manages to hold off Yasukawa for now. That is Rafael Sparafico now putting pressure on Yasukawa. Rafael leading the rookie points.
And remember, he is trying to play catch up to Davey Cook, who is in 6th, and he has got underneath Yasukawa. So Rafael side by side as they go through the corner, and look at all these guys dicing back here.
Great side-by-side racing as Mark Brewers makes a move in that Sunoco machine on Rafael Sparafico. That is Christian Shimshak in the red number 34 trying to take advantage of that situation. So Brewers gets back around Sparafico as they continue to chase Roger Yasukawa.
Yeah, it's Yasukawa in 9th, Brewers 10th, Rafael Sparafico 11th, Christian Shimshak 12th, and look at this, the battle continues. Rafael goes under Brewers for 10th place.
And that was Akihira Okamoto who passed Shimshak there. And now we've got Renee Bauer joining the party.
So this battle from 10th through 14th all the way back to Bauer is really some great racing, and they're nowhere near the race lead. Who has the lead? Well, Nicholas Ronday, and he's trying to stretch his championship points lead in the Barber Dodge Pro Series. Do you know that there is live timing and scoring available on every Barber Dodge Pro Series race? Just dial up barberdodge.com and you'll get all the answers that you need. We're at round number 8 here at Chicago Motor Speedway, and the leader right now is Nicholas Ronday, and there he is trying to stretch his lead. And Ryan Hunter-Ray, remember, in 2nd place in the points, is out of this race after having early damage. So a big shuffle in the points is about to happen.
And look at that. This will shuffle the points as well. That is Matt Plum. He has gotten around not only Davey Cook, but Sepp Koster as well. So Matt Plum is a man on a mission right now.
So he has moved up to 5th, but he's still got a long way to go to catch Nicholas Ronday.
And what a race these top 4 have driven. Very, very consistent. A lot of the drivers were worried that there would be limited passing opportunities here at Chicago. We've seen plenty of passing, but none of these top 4 have made any mistakes, and that has created no opportunities for the other drivers in the top 4.
And for Nicholas Ronday, the 30-year-old from Mel, France, one of 6 countries represented in the Barber Dodge Pro Series, we go on board with another surprise today, Sarah Sensky, and she has not given up this 2nd spot since she took that position in qualifying.
And she has been pushing Ronday the entire distance here. And Remember, she qualified early in the qualifying order, and it was not until Ronde, who qualified last in the qualifying order, remember the points leader qualifies last, pipped her for the pole. She was almost on pole position. Listen for the downshift. Feathering the throttle in the middle of the corner and back to throttle.
That is the margin from first back to second, and it has been pretty much the same station. I mean, neither has been able, Ronde's not been able to pull away. Sarah hasn't been able to really close that gap, but you can see the gap back to third as the white flag is out, and boy, this is going to mean a big difference for Nicholas Ronde. Remember, he came into this race with only a 4-point lead in the championship, and boy, he went high there.
Got up into the gray, going down into one, and look at now, Senski closing up.
Could we have a pass for the lead heading into this last lap? Only 2 more corners remain. Remember, $13,000 to the race winner, $50,000 in prize money at each event, $305,000 in a career enhancement bonus to the champion. And right now, Nicholas Ronde is taking 1 step closer. And what a great finish for Sarah Senski. A career best for John Morley in third and for David Waringa in fourth. All career highs for second, third, and fourth place. What an unbelievable day in the Barber Dodge Pro Series. A lot of surprises here at Chicago Motor Speedway, but not a surprise for Nicholas Ronde as he widens his lead in the championship. We'll talk to him. Here at round 8 of the Barber Dodge Pro Series, there is Nicholas Ronde climbing out of the cockpit, a very happy racer because he knows he has widened his points lead. Take a look at the final results. Tip of the hat to second, third, and fourth. Career best for all 3 of those racers. Matt Plum in 5th, and as we look down further, in 11th spot, Renee Bauer is our Conseco Step Up Award winner. 3rd time that he's won the award in 4 races. He climbed 8 positions. Let's catch up with Rick Radicek and our winner.
Nicholas Ronde, your second win here at Chicago Motor Speedway. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Very happy to bring the mini vacation right here in the target victory zone, because it's really the target right here. It's cool.
Sarah gave you fits on that restart, didn't she?
Not really. You know, obviously I would rather have had the track green all the time, because I was just really controlling the pace and going at my ease. When she was catching me a little bit, I was able to pull away again and stay there. It was okay. The restart, she was closer, but it was okay.
You had an incident in the warm-up session, had a misunderstanding with the right rear, with the wall. What kind of drama is going through your mind as you came to the start?
Really none. I mean, I hardly brushed the wall this morning in the warm-up, and I was actually honestly doubtful that I had bent something. I mean, it was so light, but it did bend something, but that's fine, you know.
This helps you in the points battle for sure.
Sure, and I see that in top 3, I don't see neither Ryan nor Sepp nor Roger, so it must be very good.
Congratulations, Nicholas.
Thank you.
Well, Nicholas, we'll show you how good as your second win of the year from the pole moves you 15 points ahead of Matt Plum. Ryan Hunter-Reay drops from second all the way to 5th. 19 back is Roger Yasukawa. Sepp Koster in 4th, 20 markers back. 8 of 12 rounds completed now in the Barber Dodge Pro Series. Now, what about Rookie of the Year championship standings? This is really good.
Well, Barber Kart Scholarship driver John Morley has taken over the rookie points lead over Davey Cook. Only 2 points back, though. The other Barber Kart Scholarship driver is Rafael Sperifico, only 4 points back. But we've got 5 guys within 27 points.
Don't forget, our next round will be from Mid-Ohio, round 9 of the Barber Dodge Pro Series on ESPN2, September 4th at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Take a look at this. History. Sarah Senski, the first female ever to stand on the podium in a kart-sanctioned event. That's all kart-sanctioned events. Tip of the hat to Sarah. Also, a tip of the hat to Scott McKinley, our pie technician of the race. as he wins that award. For Jeremy Dale, I'm Marty Reed. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Barber Dodge Pro Series. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. We'll see you next time we go racing on the Barber Dodge Pro Series.